Have you ever felt like people take advantage of you? Do you wonder why certain people always manipulate, deceive, or disrespect you? Why do some people think they can play you for a fool? Maybe you've been in situations where you gave your all, but others only used you for their own benefit. Perhaps you've been too trusting, too kind, or too forgiving, only to realize later that people were taking advantage of your good nature. Does it feel like no matter how much you do for others, they still don't respect you? The truth is, being played for a fool doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're giving people chances they don't deserve. But don't worry. Once you understand why this happens, you can take back control. In this video, we'll break down 5 major reasons why people play you for a fool, and most importantly, how you can stop it from happening. If you've ever been in this situation, stick around because you're about to learn some powerful insights that will help you stand up for yourself and demand the respect you deserve. But before we get started, do me a quick favor. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you more valuable content that empowers you to navigate life with confidence. Now, let's jump right in. 1. You're too nice. Being kind is a beautiful quality, but when you're too nice, some people see it as an opportunity to take advantage of you. They assume that because you're always polite, helpful, and accommodating, you won't stand up for yourself when they cross the line. Think about it. Have you ever said yes to something even when you didn't want to, just to avoid disappointing someone? Have you ever put other people's needs ahead of your own, only to realize that they never do the same for you? The problem is, when you're too nice, certain people will test your limits. They may take advantage of your kindness by constantly asking for favors without giving anything in return. Ignore your boundaries because they know you won't say no. Manipulate your generosity by guilt-tripping you into doing things you don't want to do. Treat you like an option instead of valuing you as a priority. This doesn't mean you should stop being kind, but it does mean you need to balance kindness with self-respect. Solution: set clear boundaries. Being a good person doesn't mean being a doormat. You have the right to say no without feeling guilty. You have the right to put yourself first when necessary. Here's how to change the pattern. Learn to say no firmly and respectfully. You don't need to explain or apologize for setting a boundary. A simple "I can't do that" is enough. Notice who only comes to you when they need something. Real friends and genuine people will value you, not just what you can do for them. Prioritize your own needs. Being too available for others can leave you drained. Make sure you're taking care of yourself too. At the end of the day, kindness should be a strength, not a weakness. True respect comes when people see that your kindness comes with boundaries. If you don't set limits, some people will continue to push them. 2. You avoid confrontation. Do you ever let things slide just to keep the peace? Do you find yourself staying quiet even when someone mistreats you just because you don't want to cause conflict? If so, this could be one of the biggest reasons why people play you for a fool. Many people mistake silence for weakness. When you don't speak up for yourself, it sends the message that you're okay with being treated unfairly. And unfortunately, some people will take full advantage of that. They will test your limits to see how much they can get away with. Disrespect you repeatedly, knowing you won't call them out. Push their own agenda, assuming you'll just go along with it. At first, avoiding confrontation might seem like the easier path. You might tell yourself, "It's not a big deal. I don't want to make things awkward." Maybe they didn't mean it. But over time, this behavior builds resentment. You feel frustrated, undervalued, and powerless, while the other person continues to do whatever they want without consequences. Solution: speak up for yourself. You don't have to be aggressive to be assertive. Speaking up doesn't mean starting an argument. It simply means standing your ground when necessary. Here's how. Use firm and clear communication. Instead of staying silent, say, "I don't appreciate being treated this way," or "I need you to respect my boundaries." Practice saying no. If you don't agree with something, don't just go along with it to avoid tension. You have the right to say, "That doesn't work for me." Stop making excuses for people's bad behavior. If someone is being rude, manipulative, or disrespectful, call it out. instead of brushing it off. Remember, confrontation isn't about starting drama, it's about protecting yourself. When people see that you won't let things slide, they'll think twice before trying to play you for a fool. 3. You trust too easily. Trust is one of the most valuable things you can give someone, but when you give it away too easily, it can become a weakness rather than a strength. Some people are skilled at pretending to be genuine, only to manipulate and take advantage of you once they gain your trust. Think about it. Have you ever shared personal information with someone too soon, only to regret it later? Have you ever believed someone's words, only to realize their actions didn't match? If so, you're not alone. Many people assume the best in others, but unfortunately, not everyone deserves that trust right away. Some people will lie and deceive you because they know you won't question them, exploit your openness for their own personal gain, use your emotions against you to get what they want, take advantage of your kindness, knowing you won't suspect bad intentions. The truth is, trust should be earned, not given freely. Just because someone seems nice, friendly, or charming doesn't mean they have your best interests at heart. Solution: trust wisely, not blindly. Being cautious doesn't mean being cold, it means being smart about who you let into your life. Here's how to protect yourself. Observe actions, not just words. People can say anything, but their true character is revealed in how they treat you over time. Set boundaries early on. Don't give away too much personal information too soon. Let people prove they are trustworthy before opening up. Don't ignore warning signs. If something feels off, don't brush it aside. Pay attention to patterns, not apologies. Test loyalty before trusting completely. Real trust is built through consistency. See if people show up for you when you really need them before fully trusting them. Remember, trusting others is not a weakness, but trusting the wrong people too soon can leave you vulnerable. Protect your trust and give it only to those who truly deserve it. 4. You always seek approval. Do you find yourself constantly worrying about what others think? Do you change your behavior just to please people or avoid their disapproval? If so, this could be one of the biggest reasons why people play you for a fool. When you seek approval from others, you unknowingly give away your power. People can sense when you crave validation, and unfortunately, some will use that to control and manipulate you. Instead of respecting you for who you are, they may use flattery to keep you under their influence, telling you what you want to hear so you'll keep doing what they want. Make you feel guilty for saying no, knowing you'd rather please them than stand your ground. Take advantage of your fear of rejection, making you go above and beyond just to gain their approval. Disrespect you without consequences, because they know you'll stay quiet to avoid conflict. At first, seeking approval might seem harmless. After all, everyone likes to be liked. But when your happiness depends on other people's opinions, you become trapped in a cycle where you're constantly trying to please others while they continue to take advantage of you. Solution: validate yourself instead of seeking external approval. You don't need permission to be yourself or to make your own choices. Here's how to break free from approval-seeking behavior. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I truly want to or because I want someone's approval? If your actions are based on fear of judgment, it's time to rethink them. Learn to be okay with people not liking you. Not everyone will agree with you, and that's fine. True confidence comes from being authentic, not from trying to please everyone. Stop over-explaining yourself. You don't owe anyone a justification for setting boundaries or making decisions that serve you. A simple, this is what works for me, is enough. Set your own standards for self-worth. Instead of asking, what will they think? Ask, what do I think? Your self-worth should come from within, not from how others perceive you. When you stop chasing approval, people lose their control over you. You become more confident, more independent, and most importantly, less likely to be played for a fool. 5. You ignore red flags. Have you ever looked back at a bad situation and thought, I should have seen this coming? Maybe the signs were there all along, but you ignored them because you wanted to believe the best in someone. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many people get played for fools simply because they overlook warning signs instead of taking them seriously. Red flags don't always come in obvious forms. Sometimes they show up as small, subtle behaviors that we brush off. But over time, these little signs add up, and before you know it, you're caught in a situation where someone is using, manipulating, or disrespecting you. People take advantage of you when they realize they can push your boundaries without consequences. They might make promises but never follow through, yet you keep giving them chances. Disrespect you in small ways, but you tell yourself it's not a big deal. Use guilt, excuses, or charm to justify their actions, and you believe them even when they keep repeating the same behavior. Blame you for their mistakes, but you accept it, thinking you might have done something wrong. The truth is, people show you who they are early on. The problem isn't that you don't see the red flags, it's that you choose to ignore them because you want things to work out. Solution: pay attention to patterns, not apologies. Trusting someone doesn't mean ignoring reality. If someone consistently disrespects, lies to, or mistreats you, don't believe their excuses, believe their actions. Here's how to protect yourself. Recognize patterns of behavior. One mistake can be forgiven, but repeated disrespect is a sign of who someone really is. Stop making excuses for people. If someone shows you they don't respect you, don't assume they will change. Actions speak louder than words. Trust your gut instinct. If something feels off, don't ignore that feeling. Your intuition is warning you for a reason. Walk away when necessary. The sooner you remove yourself from toxic situations, the less damage they can do. Don't wait until it's too late. Ignoring red flags won't make problems disappear. It only allows them to grow. If you want people to stop playing you for a fool, start believing what they show you, not what they tell you. If people have been playing you for a fool, it's time to change the narrative. You don't have to continue being the person who gets used, manipulated, or taken for granted. The good news is that you have the power to stop it, and it starts with self-awareness and action. Let's quickly recap the 5 reasons why people take advantage of you. 1. You're too nice. Being kind is great, but without boundaries, some people will walk all over you. 2. You avoid confrontation. Staying silent only encourages disrespect. Speak up when necessary. 3. You trust too easily. Not everyone deserves your trust right away. Let people earn it. 4. You always seek approval. You don't need validation from others. Your worth comes from within. 5. You ignore red flags. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Now, ask yourself, which of these patterns do I need to change? Recognizing the issue is the first step. The next step is taking action and setting new standards for how people treat you. How to take back your power. Start setting boundaries. Make it clear what you will and won't tolerate. Speak with confidence. Don't be afraid to say no or express your needs. Be selective about who you trust. Not everyone deserves access to you. Stop caring about what people think. Prioritize your happiness, not their approval. Hold accountable. If someone disrespects you, address it instead of ignoring it. The moment you start valuing yourself, people will either respect you or walk away. And either way, you win. You deserve to be treated with respect, but it starts with how you allow others to treat you. Your turn. Have you ever felt like someone played you for a fool? What did you learn from that experience? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more content that empowers you to live with confidence and self-respect. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stand tall, set your boundaries, and never let anyone take advantage of you again.